Yeah. Chest test test. Chest chest. Ah, this is all. What's that? What's that? That one. Say come back. Please turn the whole thing. Sit down, sir. Fight, sir.
So you are the ones that arrested me from my office.
Honestly. We wanted to see some this arrest will work. Looking at the time.
The global function.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so is this okay for the closer or farther?
That's okay if you can hear. At least I can relax.
Yeah.
How far?
Yeah. I'll speak first.
How far? How far? Yeah, come on, I'm getting it there. Hello? I'm getting it here.
Okay, we need this wire first.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, yeah. Airport noise.
Where's space?
Time again.
Hello? 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 Okay, okay. You try this one.
Because of the wire, yeah.
Yes.
Just add on.
You can add on
No, as in add on the audio inputs. No, but then she won't know.
numbers 3. Huh?
Yeah.
Sending error.
Okay, so I think I noticed some people you came with.
Hmm?
That you came with some people
Yeah.
upstairs.
No, no, they're my age.
Okay. There's actually a room they could wait. Good afternoon, listener. You're on to Peace 90.5. This is Echoes of the Plateau Dream, your number one youth program. We apologize for starting on a very late note, and we hope we seek and crave your indulgence for to forgive us for this. And we promised you a wonderful episode, and the time is here. Actually, we are going to be bringing you the conversations that matter in Plateau State, in Nigeria, and in the world entirely. Of course, with a focus. My name is Jerry Alkali. Together with me, as always, peace to cast. Peace, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jerry. Good afternoon, Plateau. It's of course another Monday to have these interesting conversations with you all about governance and politics in Plateau State. So if you can hear our voice, ensure that you don't touch your dial.
Indeed, do not touch your dial. We have a very wonderful and interesting guest. He is himself architect Hart Bankert. He's the general manager of Jos Metropolitan Development Board, and he's going to be taking the heat today. He will be taking the questions. Let me not say it was.
I was going to say Jerry Heat.
Yeah, let me not say it. He's not Daniel Koala, so he won't be taking any heat. He will just be taking the questions normally, and we will be back. We hope you can still stay tuned to your radio set. We are going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we will go straight into the discussion. Do not forget that you can be part of this conversation. You can follow us on Facebook. You can watch on Facebook Live. You can send your messages. Go to Facebook at Plateau Radio Television Corporation Official. So please stay tuned until the conversation is back. You see the input. So no one
to harness our vibrant energy, unwavering resilience, and unmatched creativity in forging a legacy of hope, progress, and a future that shines brighter for all who follow. This show is more than a mere discussion. It is where we transform our ideas into action and our hope into tangible progress. This is simply where the dreams of the plateau will come alive. Come along, let's work hand in hand, side by side, and together we build the plateau of our dreams. We believe that the time to do so is now.
You're welcome back to the program. Just before the break, this is Echoes of the Plateau Dream, actually, and we are going to be having a discussion. We are going to be talking about the Just Master Plan. We are going to be talking about building our state today without losing tomorrow, the citizens and how they are carried along with the Just Master Plan. And just as I said before the break, we have Architect Hart Bankat, General Manager, the Just Metropolitan Development Board. You are welcome to the program once more, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, Jerry, and peace and good afternoon, listeners.
So good afternoon. So as I said, heat. So let me say you'll be taking the cold. So no heat, but we are just going to go for the hard questions.
I'm up to the
because
task.
yeah, it's what people want to hear outside,
Yes.
and we are just going to be putting their thoughts on the table. Now, I think some time back, you worked on there was a commissioning of the Bukuru Ultramodern market. I think that was sometime in September, and there were, from what I can see, there were over 106 or about 165 shops, 16 warehouses, 133 lockups, and it's good. It has a capacity for over 2,000 traders, you understand, and that is good. But there was so much buzz around it, and many people said the government shouldn't have done this if they knew they couldn't cater for all the traders. Now, what I'm saying is that we've heard these sects, of traders who claim that there is an agenda, an ulterior agenda. Probably this isn't just displacement. Probably this is intentional displacement. And why would they say that? They would say because the GMDB is not empowered to do that. So I want you to give us clear today. Do you have the powers to be able to displace? And where do you factor in all these things that people say about you?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. And for me, it's quite interesting because there's a law, and ignorance of the law, they say, is not an excuse, right? So it's quite unfortunate that people don't have an idea of what it is and have decided to give themselves the absolute power to determine what is supposed to exist and what is not supposed to exist. I didn't create the laws in JMDB. JMDB has been in existence since 1974 as JMDB. Prior to that, it was the Native Authority, which it had been operating since the pre-colonial eras. That's why we can still give you files of 1920, 1940 in our records. And I'm glad people are wondering if we have the powers to do so. Like I keep telling people, if you feel we don't, challenge us.
Hmm.
If you feel we don't, challenge us. And you see, I don't have any form of sentiments, and I've inculcated that into our team for our people to understand. There's no messiah from anywhere that's going to come and fix Plateau. It's either we fix it or we forget about it. Now, changes are not going to be funny, changes are not going to be easy, but it is something that must be done one way or the other. And with the level of exposure we've had, I keep telling people God will not forgive us if we don't bring a semblance of what we've seen all around the world for people to get to see. There are people that till they die, not that we're wishing anybody bad luck, might not get the privilege to enter a plane and travel.
Mhm.
Today, you can see the metro city buses contesting with major cities in the world.
Mhm.
How many people knew that such things existed before, prior to climbing the small buses and all the shuttle buses to move around town? You can see that terminus, you can even park a vehicle in terminus today. How many people knew that was possible?
Mm.
Yeah? Since when I grew up, Kugia was like
Ah,
a hub, yeah, where people from the village and the city meet, known for particular things. But today you can see it. So it means that with deliberate steps, changes can happen and it's for good. And there are no ulterior motives to this. It is for a better plateau, and we want to be responsible to our children and look them in the face and tell them we fixed it.
yes. Could we say the GMDB prior to you, before you, performed abysmally poorly? Would you agree to that? Because if a lot of people are shocked because probably GMDB has never done this since democracy began, and so it looks like these things aren't supposed to happen. Could you say the GMDB has just been a very sleeping board or agency? To be honest.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would just say they weren't empowered enough.
So
They
what does
didn't get the right
what's
way
what's the
because
empowerment?
there's no new staff. When you have a principal who is willing and understands what you want to do, and it might interest you to know that prior to my coming, there was no general manager in JMDB for over 8 years. So it was the most
Wow.
senior director acting, and they didn't get the willpower from the government to perform and do their duties. So I think that was one of the things that eroded the space. But I can tell you, it's the same team, the same staff we met on ground that are doing the magic that people are seeing in town. So it's not rocket science. It means they have the
Better
capacity to
leadership,
do it,
yes.
but they weren't given the privilege to do it.
It just tells how much important leadership, the right leadership is, right?
Yes.
When you have the right leadership, you tend to achieve a lot. And of course, still based on what do we call it, the Kugia market, the Bukuru market. I know that before the movement, I went to Kugia markets. I think sometime ending last year, and I was amazed. I was surprised because I wasn't there for over months, and when I found myself there, I was amazed. Is this the same Kugia that we used to know? Abi's another place. And I think the first time I went there and I saw the changes, right? I went back again the second time. The first time, I think there was no, the traders had not completely moved into the new market. There were still, we still had some people outside and then we still had some in. And my second going was deliberate. It was to go and see, okay, what is it like? Because the news in town was they were going to move them out. They were moving them out. Where are they going to put them? So I was wondering to go and see, okay, where are they going to put these people? And surprisingly, I think the second time I went to that new market, I noticed that we still had people who had no shops, right? Having their things, selling their things around, but inside the new market. So now something, I believed something happened from the first, because there was resistance at first. And then the second time there was compliance, right? And at first they were like, okay, where is the government going? You did not provide a new place for us. All of a sudden, you're asking us to move. And all of a sudden, I went back and these people had moved. So what happened? What can you say happened between the point of resistance and the point of compliance? What did you do differently? Because at first, I know that you were regarded as one
We expected the
choice of
war.
words, right?
Yeah,
Like
war. Yeah.
one devil or so. So now what happened between these two periods?
We had a lot of stakeholder engagements. It's just that we had some miscreants who you will never lack, who were willing to change the narrative. But like I keep saying and I keep telling people, at every stage, we had consulted with the leadership of the marketers and traders, and we had had conversations with them. Now we knew when a lot of people were trying to exploit the opportunity and create chaos where there was no chaos. Because I think even at a point in time when there was a protest to Government House, when the women came and brought a letter that they were market women from Bukuru, they submitted a list of about 22 women.
Okay.
And the government was shocked when I gave them a list of over 300 women.
Where did it come
So it was just a fraction. People were trying to use them to now frustrate the whole system. But I understand the sentiments. Change comes with a lot of resistance simply because people are used to a way of doing things. But we thank God that at least for better reasoning, we had the engagement with the stakeholders and then everything went flawlessly. So the unions, the elders, and then the religious leaders in Bukuru played a very vital role in doing all this. So that was how we were able to achieve it.
Okay, well, just adding to what you said, considering his image, I think there was a time I was at Old Airport and then people just started scrambling. Everybody was closing his umbrella. And only apparently they heard he was at Secretariat Junction.
Secretariat and at Old Airport
yeah,
already.
they were clear. And so I just want us to speak to the 003 executive order, which has been so popular in recent time. There were some altercations here and there. As you said, people put up resistance and sometimes they want to make an issue out of the whole thing. But we understand that someone even lost his life. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that should have been in the main market where, hoodlums sort of trying to resist the moving and all that. Did that make you slow down a bit? Or are things still moving in full force?
Things are moving. I think, as far as I know, we're still sustaining it. It's just that we've withdrawn from just going round because at least the message has been sent. It has been established for well over 2 years now. So we are concentrating on particular areas, trying to see that we maintain the peace and then we maintain the sanity in those spaces. I can tell you for sure, a lot of people thought we were going to be tired, but we have told them we have the capacity. When we came for this job, we came prepared to be cursed and insulted. We didn't come to be praised. So we knew the tax ahead. We knew what we needed to do. and we are facing it head on. So while you might not be seeing us roaming around, it's because we've stationed people at various locations. Now that the places being cleared are more, you have to keep people, because the moment you retrieve those people from those sites, you realize that people are still adamant wanting to
Yeah.
come back to site. So we're trying as much as possible to see how we sustain that, and then I believe that sooner or later, self, with the expansions we intend to do, we'll be able to do that, and we're going seriously into development control.
Okay, I think there's another issue regarding, I don't know one particular about Bukuru, the new Bukuru GMDB market at
Yeah,
Bukuru.
we couldn't hear enough of it.
Yes, please. There's I think that there are still issues on ground, and this one, like, there are a lot of people that have been complaining about the shops. Now you have one person coming to pay for probably 10 shops, and then he will come and give it out, or she will come and give it out at an outrageous price. I don't know what your board has done about that, if that has come to your notice, and if it has come to your notice, what is the board doing regarding that? Because I know of a person who got a shop, somebody got the shop, paid for the shop, and gave out the shop, yes, rented it out at an outrageous price. Yes.
Just give me the records to be handled. Nobody is supposed to own more than the shop.
Okay.
And if anybody does that, even though we had a partnership, it's a PPP arrangement, and then I know that people were like Adesica when they were supposed to pick up the shops, they never believed it was going to work. And part of the things they were doing, inciting them, was telling them that it was not going to be successful. So a lot of people had resistance, they didn't pick up. But whatever it is, one person cannot own a market.
Mm.
That's the reason why we don't give individuals approvals to build markets. So one person cannot own a market. And if you these are supposed to be for people, and we have done it to the barest minimum, even with the partners we had sat down to calculate how much they can earn on it daily.
Mm.
So if anybody is doing that, it's unfair. Bring it to me, and then I'll tackle it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I just before we go further, I just want you to tell us your relationship with the governor, because I would understand if there was so much pause around issues, hard changes that are going on, the governor might easily tell you to just sit down and wait first. But it seems that didn't deter the governor, that didn't deter the government, or nor did it even deter you. So, can you tell us about this relationship and trust between you and the governor himself?
Well, for a start, there's a history. You need to know what you want, you need to know what was, and you need to know where you're headed to. The governor is a very exposed person. He's been privileged to go around the world even before coming into office. He's seen places, and he's seen an idea of what he wants Plateau to look like. So you wouldn't expect someone with that kind of vision coming on board to now want to make compromises. And then the instructions were clear: implement the master plan, and then we want to work hard on urban renewal. So in working hard on urban renewal, that's the only way you can do it. It's going to be painful, as long as he has the soft heart, trying to, as much as possible, please everybody. But there are things that we have to do, because at the end of the day, people will not remember the soft heart when you leave. People will only remember the things you will have changed that you didn't change. And the worst thing that will happen to you is when you leave office tomorrow, and then you get to see things that you had the power to have changed. So I think we have that understanding, and by the special grace of God, is working for us.
Okay, so let's talk about the Just Master Plan. Of course, whatever we're doing, what your work is around ensuring that we're within the Just Master Plan. Is it something that is accessible for every Plateau citizen? Even if, yes, if I want to access the master plan, how do I get it?
Just come to us, we'll give you. We had to withdraw it from the website simply
Okay.
because they are editing it.
Oh,
We are reviewing it. It was supposed to have been passed into law, and then it expired last year. So they are reviewing it now. They are coming up with a new master plan, not just for the greater Just Master Plan. Now you have other urban centers that have been identified in some of the local governments. So they are working on the master plan, and then once they legislate on it, we'll make it public once more.
Okay, so what progress can you see? How much accomplishment do we have concerning the Just Master Plan?
Less than 10%.
That means there's a whole does that mean that you have just achieved
less than 10%. I was going to say
Yes.
we have 90%.
Do you get?
More.
So with all these things we've seen, it's just less than 10%.
It's less than 10%. You can still see slums. Look at just Jerry, take a view. This is the road to Government House. And you keep hammering and hammering and hammering on these things. And then when you go to places, when you're headed to the Government House, how do you see it? People go and snap, take pictures, sit down, relax. Can you do that on this road?
can't
So I wouldn't
can't
deceive
actually, yeah.
myself to tell me
Mm.
that we have a long way to go and we cannot be able to do it all. I don't lie to myself about
Mm.
that, but we are starting. And whoever takes over from us, we hope will continue. Gradually, we'll get there. And then systems that work don't work based on magic. It's just by law.
Mm.
And once people learn to abide by it, everything is fine.
Indeed, I mean, if you even stop here, those who come ahead would say you did a hell lot of work, and it's great that we have so much more. So I can imagine what 100% would
Would
actually
look
seem
like.
like. But speaking of funding, it takes heavy money to do this. How are you able to foster this? Many people would say that okay, your allocations have doubled. Some will even say four times what used to be allocated to other parastatals and ministries. Some would believe you have much more money, but I would just love to know how do you work around the funding? How do you have so much financial ability to be able to do all this?
Why do you think it's so much financial ability? It's
Well,
just the willpower.
mm,
There are three things you need for a government to succeed.
mm,
One is political will, second is political will, third is political will, and we have it. So it's the will we have to work. Just like my mentor will always say. So it's something that we don't compromise on. It might shock you. Off record, I can tell you how much these people earn on a daily. It's
Mm.
quite insignificant. But it's just the sheer will that they have and determination because they believed in the vision and they are willing to key into it.
How did you get them believe in the vision? Because it's one thing to have a team, it's another thing to have them believe in your vision. You're the carrier of the vision. So how did you get them to understand and to believe in what you're doing for them to be able to do what they're doing?
It's simple. You practice what you preach. You don't lead from behind, you lead from the front. So when they see you doing things, everybody knows how things are supposed to be done. I will have sat in the office and then give directives on what should be done. They might not be able to understand it.
Hmm.
But when I'm in the forefront leading the campaign, I'm sure you get a vivid picture of what we want to achieve. So it makes it easier.
Again, let's talk about the trucks. I love the fact that we don't have trucks parking around Dadinkowa, or you don't get to hear of a truck has broken down along the road, so you need to divert, find another way of going and all that. It's so beautiful to see how the town is looking. But coming in from Maraban Jama'a, coming into Jos, honestly, we cannot say that it's actually looking good, right? Mostly when it's evening. I don't know. We've been complaining, and we can see that the road around that side, it's becoming hell of a problem because of how they are parking and how they are managing the space there. We can't really say that that place is organized. So, is there any plan for? We know that the conversation around getting a spot for them, a park for them where they come to park before they come into town. I don't know what progress we have made in providing that for them.
Thank you very much for that. We've made a lot of progress, and I can say it with my full chest. I'm responsible for that. I particularly told the governor that we are not spending taxpayers' money in building a trailer park. It is a business that can fund itself. And like I said earlier, we've been around places. Now, when you go to, let me give you an example with Nasarawa State.
Mm.
Nasarawa State built a trailer park along Lafia Road, Makoji Road, sorry.
Mm.
Now, unfortunately, after building the trailer park, that was when the trailer owners now started buying plots of land next to the trailer park and parking their trucks in their own
Yes.
parks. So now taxpayers' money has been used, and then the place is not getting up to its full potential, and then the government cannot recoup. So it's business. So as far as I'm concerned, it is cheaper for us to fix the road than to spend taxpayers' money to build a trailer park. We have identified sites, we have gotten, and we have given them the mandate. We are not even forcing anybody on them. We have given them the mandate, bring investors. Once you bring investors, they are going to build. We are going to support you with policy. We are going to help drive the motion for you for everything to work, but we are not building it. So that we have given them, and I can assure you that by the time they are done, a lot of proposals have come up, but it's just that we want to be careful. There's what's called due diligence. It's not everybody that comes and tell you, I have money, I want
And
to
you
do
know.
this, you'll be able to do it. You need to know where the funds are coming from. You need to know who the person and the track record is, so that you don't get entangled in some kind of web that you have situations whereby people are trying to just get funds from somewhere and come and sink into the state. As much as we want the investments, we're also careful. So those are things that we're doing, and by the special grace of God, once all the lines have been ticked, we'll be able to do the needful, and I can assure you that it won't take up to a week to fix those roads. So it's
Okay.
not an issue.
So just for clarity, that is to say that these truck owners are aware. They know that they can bring in investors.
They are very
and
aware.
okay.
They are very aware.
Okay, I think speaking about this, and I'm just thinking about the trailers around Maraba. There has been plans for an ultra modern market,
Hmm.
and I saw the scale. It was very very magnanimous, should I say, and very daring also. I would add, but we kind of heard a lot about it in a particular time, but then we don't really hear much about it now. So can you just give us the rundown, give us the vision, and give us its possibility as well?
It's highly possible. Unfortunately, that will have to go to the purview of my brother Magna, who is overseeing that. So I won't be fair.
Hmm.
Even though I'm part of the committee, I have an idea on it,
Yes.
but it won't be fair because that's under his
That's
purview
true.
for
Yeah.
him to discuss about the
Okay, but
market. So
you know why I even put that question
Mm.
up is because you would see some people intentionally poking fun. You understand?
Mm.
They would come and say, ah, they said they are going to do this, and now so it was always calm. I just want you to put that clear. For the
no,
record.
that is not a scam. I mean the picture of everything, and I can assure you that after everything is done, there are a lot of things that entail when it comes to PPP. Now, there's a difference between giving out contracts and using public funds,
Hmm.
and there's a difference between getting
Public.
investors to put in their funds and commit. There are certain things that you must provide, and there are certain things that must be done before these things are being done. And I'm sure that when Magna comes on here, he will elaborate on that and then give you details. But everything is on course. That I can assure you.
Okay, that's very. So let's talk about the community around Maraban Jamaa. I know that there has been cries from this particular community. Some of them talking about, of course, their children, their youth, how these truck drivers, basically, that place has become like a new home for these people. So I don't know if the community, because this has been more of side talks, nothing really official. I don't know if the people from this community have actually reached out to your board to complain, or they're just on their own, just saying what they want to say or complaining about their problems without putting out a formal complaint on their experiences with these truck drivers.
I don't know which one is the community around Maraban Jamaa because I know that around Maraban Jamaa there are businesses.
Mm.
So I don't know which of the community because we deliberately didn't want to put it inside a community. That's why we didn't take it up towards Kuru. And even the sites that we've identified, we've taken them off communities.
Yes.
And most of the things we've seen at Maraban Jama is people doing businesses, shops, and then maybe traders, and then these unions,
Yes.
road transport, and the rest. So I'm not aware of any complaint from any community though, but if there is, they can bring it forward to us and we'll look into it.
Okay,
Okay.
our viewers, thank you for staying with us. Thank you for being part of this conversation. I think we are at the half hour, and very soon, 1 hour always seems like a lot until you go into it. So please, we would love to have your messages if you can. Please be reminded that you can also watch this interview live on Facebook, Plateau Radio Television Corporation Official. In case you want to hit the studio line, the number is 0812 588 6048. One more time, 0812 588 6048. Would love your messages. We would appreciate your messages so that the general manager can have lots and lots of time to speak. But please, we are happy to hear your voice. But coming back to the conversation, sir, concerning properties, there are lots and lots of properties who do not even have the right certification. Now there was a time, there was another thing that kind of happened, and it was like you brought down an illegal structure. But then the people don't see it as an illegal structure; they see it as somebody's house that you brought down, fully furnished house. Now, I just wanted to set the record. Does it mean that if somebody has an illegal land and the person finishes his building, furnishes it, and everything, you don't have the right to demolish their building? Or is there something I'm not getting? Because if some people knew that they didn't have certification, why the clamor that you brought something down?
Jerry, I don't want to delve into that, but like I said, if you feel anything we're doing is wrong, challenge us. So let's test the law because you see, you cannot claim your ignorance to be deliberate about certain actions. And then, like I said earlier, also, nobody is coming to fix the state for us. So if we can't respect it, then nobody is going to respect it. And I took that action with my full chest because it is someone very close to me, so that people know
Oh
that
wow.
nobody is
Yes.
spared.
Mm.
I won't spare you because you are my friend. I won't be here forever. I'm not one of those that gets carried away with the fact that you are in power. So
Mm.
since you're in power, you can use power to oppress people. I'm
Yes,
a
and
knight.
that was the narrative that was being pushed.
I'm a knight. I wake up preparing to die. I sleep preparing to die.
Mm.
So every day I go to the office, I treat it as if it's my last. I
Mm.
don't get carried away to see as if I'm fixed in a place for a very long time. So, like I keep telling people, the message is very clear. We must do it. Nobody's coming from anywhere to do it for us. So while we're here, I would rather do it and implement it so that when my children ask me tomorrow,
Mm.
I should be glad to tell them I did my own bit.
So, assuming we just like I just put it forward, a lot of buildings don't have the proper certification. Um, how easy are these services? How available are they to the people? Because when
Accessible.
you speak of such things, they will tell you GMDP wants money sometimes. They'll say, you need to go and drive here and drive here. Just kind of
You don't
give
need
us
to
a run
bribe.
through
You
how
don't need to
how
bribe
the
anybody. The
services are.
process is simple.
Mm.
Obtain your title from Lands and Survey. Bring your drawings to JMGB. We've had a lot of policy seminars, and then we've had a lot of conversations, people telling you how can you shorten the time. You can't shorten the time to go through development. The truth is, because there are people that will bring some funny drawings for you, you have to send
Mm.
them back to go and fix it.
Oh.
There are people that will just go and copy and paste from somewhere
Somebody.
and then bring it. Now a lot of those things were flying, so maybe probably because the people who were there weren't from my field, so they didn't take
Mm.
note of that.
Mm.
And I tell people without apology, I tell them I don't rush to sign drawing files.
Mm.
Because whatever I put my signature to, I should be proud of.
Mm.
So I take my time to look at drawing files so that people don't just send drawings and then at the end of the day you see funny things standing and then tomorrow when they go and check, they say it's you.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good
Mm.
afternoon. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Pastor calling you from Refuge here.
Okay, please go ahead.
Welcome to good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Yes, one of the commissioners that I respect so much. You know, sometimes when people say things and they didn't do it, those of us that are in classes here, we watch many of the days. I passed one of the state elites the house this morning, the chairman of the DC. People gathered at the entrance of the house. Even some are trying to climb the fence so that they can be able to get in and get in there.
Mm.
There are things that the publics are doing in the state and in many other parts of the country that is not healthy to democracy. If people want to put they are put in the realm of affairs into accountability, they should make sure that they should not climb their houses or front of their houses. Having said this, one of the things that you are doing as a commissioner in the line of your work is the rearranging the environment. We have got hands on it, but I have an issue. The issue that the places where people pay for shop and those who climb with wheelbarrows and other things block the entire shop. Go to Bookie Market here. Even inside the places you put people inside those marketplaces. The front of those shops are occupied by wheelbarrows. What are you people doing to clear these things?
Okay.
Even in terminals, the people are having such experience. Those who rent shop cannot be able to enter their shops. They have started coming back with the trend of what they do in the other previous administration that went before this administration.
Okay.
Having said this, we need the sanity of the environment as we have started the work. And some part of this rescue has no roots. Back of this area here and other places.
I think at this point yes, you should yes, please
look into that
thank you.
so that we can be able to have something that from your table.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, that was a caller with a lengthy message I can see, and we have another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Please, what's your name? Where are you calling from? And can you speak up a bit?
My name is
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
Seriously, as bankers, I have to say that you can have to attend 2 to 3 times every transaction to cover this. I know, make things right is not easy. There are a lot of people, but even in your absence, some of us have been here. I always say good things never come easy. There are two things that I always emphasize, and thank God you are here to use your help. This issue of trailer park is very, very important, despite the fact that we are saying that it should not be led by the government or this government body.
Taxpayers.
I think there should be a principle to govern it. If government can have a trailer park, then any other person that will do it should be under that government. Government can still control. And secondly, in Plateau, I think Plateau we have put the roof and covered crops. But in fact, there is no any particular place that government has kept for the businesses, especially the yam, potato market. Most of those places owned by individuals, especially like the government market. It's not some of us that we are into young system. We are not a private system because we are controlled by individuals. We just to be thoughtful. In fact, there should be a particular place for the young market that, in fact, all the plateau products should be selling there. We can't be taking our young to Lagos, Port Harcourt, all those places. The
Okay.
markets are owned by the government.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for for your question. You would reply shortly. We're trying to keep the time as short as possible, and we have one or two text messages. Oops, I took a call and we just lost it. So the listeners, the number to call is still 0812588604 8. We have another caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you. This is Pastor Rick. I call back.
Okay, okay. Please, you have less than a
The
minute.
trailer park issue. Sorry, the trailer park issue. Even if the state government build a trailer park, government is governing and leadership must check what they do. If you build and another people want to build a trailer park, yes, take control of those ones that even also the private individual. And you can give a law that can make them not to go into it to make sure that they use what you have put on ground. Parking the trailers on the road, if you're going to happen, you see sometimes we pass there and see a car run into one of the trailers along the road. It's not healthy for the
Okay.
travelers.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The caller just called back again to reinforce. I have one or two text messages. Let me see if I can read them quickly. But still, the calls are still coming in. Let's see.
I think we should take the messages so that
Yeah,
he
let's
can
take,
respond
yes,
to
yes. So it says,
the ones we
this
have.
is from Emmanuel Tina Junction. He says, for example, I build my shop with my own money and GMDB demolishes it, but the big man's building next to mine that has no plan is still standing, and it says, who is the GMDB really working for? We have another text. It's from Ramatu Bukuru. She said my sister applied for building permit since 2022 and she is still waiting. The office tells her to come back, and she has made money, but she paid money, but nobody can explain what is going on. Let's have another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, please go ahead and kindly speak up.
Yes, I just want to show up on the honorable call in the studio.
Mm.
If possible, the work is started doing, what would they do?
Thank you so much. My boss, he called to shower accolades of his boss, actually. Your accolades have been well received. Let me see if I can go back to another message which I have on my phone. Just a second. Okay. Um, this is from Mark. He says, we know what happens when you GMDB marks your building and you go to the office without something. He says we should ask him about the boys at the counter, and I think you will take due note of that as well. Hello, good afternoon. I'm very fine. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, please go ahead, sir. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed your inputs. You were straight to the point and he laid down the issues. But I think let's give the general manager some time to be able to take the questions that have come in from numerous people. So please go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll thank the ambassador for raising concerns, which are duly noted. For Mark that made an allegation, I dare anybody, and I tell you, bring or report anybody who has demanded for money from you other than what is paid into the TSA, and that person will be dealt with. You see, as citizens, we have responsibility. It's not about going to sit down and gossip or go and spread fake rumors. Be responsible enough and be bold. If they are bold, I challenge them. If they are bold, they should bring the name of any JMDB staff that's asked them for money, and I assure you that person will be penalized to the final point. And then you don't have the responsibility to go to JMDB to pay anybody money other than all payments have been stopped in JMDB. You can only pay into TSA, and TSA is the government account. So if you bring me a TSA receipt and somebody has demanded from you, I will acknowledge. Anything other than that, as far as I'm concerned, is fake. So both the payer and the collector are criminals and will be treated as such. So for the lady that sent the text that sister's file has been delayed since 2022, that's pre my era, and then I'm sure probably there's one of those files that maybe had issues or something had happened. She should feel free. There's now a complaint desk. She could feel free to come to the office, raise the complaints, and if they cannot tackle it, then she should feel free to come to my office. I'll handle such. Those files will be traced. A lot of people had issues. Some were not didn't leave contacts, so they couldn't contact them. In fact, just last week, I presented my friend's approval to his family, my late friend.
Wow.
He had applied for it. He had gotten all the necessary, but they couldn't reach him.
Wow.
So on seeing it, I had to pick it up and then present it to them. So it's one of those things. So probably maybe it's one of those files lying that maybe the contact they put, they couldn't reach them or something, or the file had issues and then they couldn't contact them. But if it's anything other than that, they should please reach out to me. Then for Emmanuel from Tina Junction, I think I'll give him the same answer I gave Mark. If you have an allegation, kindly be bold enough to put it forward and bring it, and it will be tackled. You don't sit down and say a poor man's shop was brought down and a rich man's house was left. There's no disparity when it comes to
strong
enforcement.
allegation, right?
So they should put it down and bring it, and then where those things are done will be tackled. For Godfrey, who was talking about the trailer park and then the commodity market trying to get a particular space, I think the governor had started that when he initiated Placom, which is the Plateau Commodity Market, which is responsible for all those things. They will take care of those things. They are supposed to clear the issue of what they call it, middlemen. So it's between the direct government and the farmers. At a point, I know they are going to provide inputs, they're going to buy the products and do everything. So I'm sure by the time they are done, and then when Magna comes and gives you a briefing on how the workings of the new market is supposed to be, they will get to understand. That's why we are not elaborate in building big markets. We're just doing neighborhood markets, because when the main market comes in place, a lot of these people will have to move back to those places. That's why you see we don't complain about size, because we are not looking at the now, we're looking at what we intend to do. So for those who might not be, all these markets that are only going to be neighborhood markets. By the time the main market comes, everybody will have to move to the main market. For Pastor Eric, I don't know. Honestly, I think we're trying when it comes to road network, even between Rayfield axis. And so I'm believing that as God provides, we are going to try our best to do more. And I need to also put it to perspective. A lot of people are coming with emphasis on the trailer park. Now, we've started paying backlog of salaries and gratuities and pensions from as far back as 84.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, when people complain and say this, the same people that will complain are the same people that will tell you that you are mismanaging funds and that you're using funds. Now, you can imagine families that have lost their loved ones, they have lost their parents, and then they had worked for the state and were not able to get anything. We're still trying. Now, this is even the state government. There's still backlog in the local government that is being tried. There are basic amenities and facilities that you need to provide. Is it fair to carry public funds to go and do otherwise?
Scale of preference.
Understand? Yeah. Let's see if we can have our last caller for the day. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, Lapia, please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
sunana Shashani daga Barikin Ladi.
Okay, you're our last caller for the day. Please go
A
ahead.
gaskiya wannan abu ya daɗe yana damuna domin saboda yadda trainer nan ba su da gurin faki ya kamata a ce an samu gurin faki. Ita kanta hukuma ta dinga samun gurin ci gaba da kuma kuɗin shiga yadda ya kamata kuma hankali ya kwanta.
Thank you.
Biyu
Okay.
kuma maganan kasuwa an samu guri a gina ta da gurare a gurin da suke ba alheri ba ne. A rabu da mutum shi da kansa zai tashi ya tafi. Yanzu kamar su Lagos kasuwa nawa suke da shi. Ko da anguwa da kasuwannin su. Wannan a gina kasuwa main market a tashi mutane wani ba alheri ya ce. Kawai mutum shi da kansa zai kai kansa. Domin Filato tana da yawan al'ummar da zai ɗauki wannan duka.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I
Ya
think,
sha
let's just cut it there so that we don't get short on time. Anything you'd like to add to that? And I would just say, just give us your rounding word. I think you spoke about Plateau State. You said the Just Master Plan probably we've seen less than 10%.
Mm.
So just tell us, assuming we will say you would achieve 100%, what would that look like? And do you think it's possible?
And of course, what should we expect?
What
in-
should we expect going
before
forward? Yes.
the election is coming up
Mhm.
early next year,
Yeah.
January 2027. So what should we expect from now to then?
You should expect a lot of things to happen. You should expect the transformation to keep on going.
Mm.
And then I will say, like I always say, nobody's going to come and do it for us.
Mm.
We have a responsibility to fix Plateau. It is not rocket science where the world has moved. We're even trying to get to where the world has reached. We're not even thinking of being innovative enough to overtake them. And it's just a matter of copy and paste. The world is globalized. You don't need to know everything to implement or do everything. You can see it, you can tap from it, and then you can be able to implement it. And I believe that sooner or later, by the special grace of God, people who are crying will start smiling and laughing. And then I believe that in the nearest future, Plateau is going to be the new Dubai of the world.
Amen.
A lot of money is being spent in Dubai to make it look like Plateau. And God has given us naturally. So it's time for us to work towards it and achieve it. And I believe that by the special grace of God, we'll do it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. We want to thank you especially for your time today. Listeners, the General Manager for Just Metropolitan Development Board Architect Art Bankert. He has been speaking to the issues, and I believe that a lot of questions and fears have been allayed. So thank you once more for coming. Thank you for giving your time, and we hope to have you soon again, hopefully before the elections, and we can see where we go from there. I would have wanted to ask the political questions, please.
Yes, I also
Everything
wanted to,
happened,
but
another
let's
time.
focus on
Yes, let's
development first.
please, your final word.
Okay, so you know that, Jerry, you know that I was actually itching to ask the political questions too. But of course, we have to keep it down
Next time
and
we are not taking
and talk about development first, talk about governance first. And again, to our listeners, again, I'm going to still urge us, right? We don't have to, the government, the people in office, they are not the government alone. We are also part of the government. Development works hand in hand. Everybody has his own or her own part to contribute to governance. Do your own due diligence.